Hi everyone. I'm here today with Robin. We're here in the beautiful Shadow Hills, California, and this is her lovely little girl Casey. So how you doing today, Robin?
Oh, great, thank you.
Okay, so I'm just meeting Casey today for the first time. Could you share with us a little bit about how you got Casey and her mom? Her mom is in the background. She's a little camera shy.
Sure. Mama and Casey were at an auction in Texas back in July. It's a kill auction. They ship to slaughterhouses in Mexico and Canada, and I wanted to save a couple of lives. So I adopted them, and here they are.
Thank you. And see, this is one of the things I want people to know. Animals feel trauma and grief just like humans, because when we first walked out here, before we even, while we're getting the camera setting up, I just had this intense emotional feeling, and when I feel the need that I want to cry, I know that something's gone on with the animal. So her mom is off camera. Like I said, she's a little bit too shy, so that being said, we're going to respect her privacy. In addition to communicating with animals, I also do Reiki healing, and for those of you who aren't familiar with what Reiki is, it's, for an example, how an acupuncturist moves energy through the body with needles. A Reiki practitioner moves energy through the body, so as we're talking, I'm going to see, what energy comes off of Casey, anything she wants to say to Robin. But first and foremost, we're always going to respect what Casey wants to do. So Casey can go wherever she wants, and Robin and I will take it from there. So, but on the humorous side, when we first got here, and even the crew can attest to this, she's right in the picture. She's like, I want to know what's going on. And she said to me, if I were a human, I would be like Lucille Ball, because as we know, everybody loves Lucy. So I think she's feeling pretty comfortable here now, but then I was getting the feeling that, the situation that they were, and with her mom, being so traumatized, that was really difficult for her. Now, when you first got her, because I'm seeing something where when you first got her, was she really skittish? I just see a lot of...
Mama was.
Okay, that's Mama's twitching?
Yes.
Okay, but what I'm saying though is I think maybe, just like in humans, I'm feeling like maybe in the womb, that Casey might have picked up some energy. That's what I'm feeling.
Okay.
Because we know that.
Yes.
Mothers transmit energy, to their fetus. But the good thing is, see, Casey is, she's how old?
10.5 months.
She's 10.5 months. She's still a baby. It is really a lot easier to work with a more confident animal. Even though they've been through things, their confidence allows them to know that there is hope. We can make changes. So I'm just going to, she loves, by the way, she loves to have her hair done. So that's why Mom has the brush handy in case she needs touch-ups. You see, when I feel her back here in the hindsight, it's not because it is a little bit cool out here, people, even though it's sunny. I feel energy in the backside. I don't feel pain, but what I feel like is her being pushed. And I don't know if it was them trying to get her somewhere, but I kind of think that's why she's she kind of wants to constantly go forward. Okay?
Yes, she does.
Okay. So that makes sense because, see, when I think they were trying to push her back into some place she didn't want to be. She said, no. So what I'm explaining to her is now that she's away from all that situation, you are now her human, and as such, you are going to take care of her. That's never going to happen to her again. So that's one thing that I tell all animals when they have someone as kind as Robin, and this is not her only rescue, people. She has more, which you'll meet later someday. These animals, I think, instinctively know I'm safe with you. But we still want to work out the kinks of the trauma. So one of the other things I do, and that will happen, I'll email you, is I work with a lot of remedies, flower essences, calming agents, if you will. Mm-hmm. Because I think going forward, I'll probably need to have do some more work with the animals. Going forward, I usually recommend a regimen of these calming agents. Just like with a human, if the brain is too busy to receive the message, it's harder for them to learn. That makes sense? Mm-hmm. So sometimes before we get into any serious behavioral modification issues, the remedies kind of say, okay, I'm kind of chill. They're not prescription. They're totally natural, people. And they're for humans, felines, canines, and equines. All good stuff. But Casey's being weaned, I understood. Okay. And I feel like she's not too happy about that. So can you kind of explain to people what happens with the weaning and why a horse isn't happy? I mean, I can't remember as a human, so.
Well, up until a couple weeks ago, Casey was still nursing on her mother. Now, so typically people will wean a foal at around 6 to 8 months. They've only been here a month, and at their old place, we didn't have the facilities to wean her. So we just separated her about 2 weeks ago. So of course, you know, she's not too happy about that, but
Because she tells me she kind of went kicking and screaming. Like literally kicking and screaming. Is that true?
yeah,
Because I see her like, wait, it's still there. I want it. No, it's out of my reach.
when I take Misty off property, this one has a fit. She runs and bucks and screams and everything. So they're still very attached, but there's a chance that Misty might be pregnant again. And
Wow.
the urgency to get Casey off of her is so that if she is pregnant again, she can dry up, her milk can dry up, and then she'll be able to form the colostrum that the baby needs.
Yeah. So this is what,
Be
you know,
healthy.
but it's just like, I mean, the beauty of a mother being able to feed and nurture its child, regardless of the species, is a very important thing. And of course, they're going to feel some trauma over that. It's okay, my love. It's okay. We won't talk about that too much anymore. It's bothering here. Let's close your little ears. But obviously, it has to happen eventually. I just feel like because she has a needy personality in general. You know, like I say, when you guys came in, she's on the cameraman, she's on the stage manager. When a child or a being is more needy, being attached to the mom is so comforting.
Right, right.
And given their prior situation, which I think overall for what she's been through, she's doing really, really well.
She is.
Yeah.
She is. And she's so energetic. She's actually fallen down a couple of times.
Oh, whoa, yeah.
And the minute she does, she jumps up and runs to mom to nurse.
Oh, it's like, Mom, I have a boo-boo. I have a boo-boo. Yeah, she's really lovely. So, let me see, let me just kind of look at her. Okay, what's it, my love? Does she, okay. Does she like her tire toy? Because I see her playing with something. Does she like, or is she mouthing because she's not nursing anymore? I see her
She's
putting
just-
things in her mouth.
Well, she everything's a toy to her. So it's like any baby. Everything's in the mouth.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
That's why we have cones out here. She can grab them in her mouth and flip them around, and yeah, she's very curious and playful.
I'll walk around on the back over here. Excuse me. All right. So, yeah, because that's what she's showing me. So, I mean, this stuff is available to her at all times. It doesn't need to be supervised play.
No.
Okay, that's good because see, when I feel that energy, it's like you're saying is, and okay, like, all right, thank you. It's like a person who's quitting smoking. They got to have a candy or something, you know, in their mouth, and that's what I see with her is when she starts feeling that need, that feeling of, you know, I'm not with my mom. It's like, okay, that's the substitute. She wants to go to it right now. Okay, baby, it's okay.
Good girl, Casey.
But like I say, I mean, energetically, I don't feel like there's any kind of, she doesn't have any kind of physical ailments or scars. Like her mom actually has scars, people, and that's why, you know, it's very, very sad what happened to them. But I don't see anything physically that happened to her there other than that she was saved from going to the slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
But it is really, they do say that animals are very intuitive. And even though they can't speak like we do, I think she kind of knew her butt was on the block, so to speak. Yeah, we won't talk about that too much. I'm sorry, baby. Here, let me give you your brushing. It's okay. Yeah, we won't talk about that anymore. Because sometimes when we talk about things that they don't like, it starts to agitate them. So we're gonna, okay. Is that, you like that? You part like that? Oh, yes. You have a beautiful hairdo. Here, Mama.
Hi, I'm Julie and this is Frank. We're from the Pasadena Humane Society and SPCA. You might know us for our pet adoptions, but did you know that we also offer many services to help pet owners in need? Programs such as low-cost spay-neuter, vaccination and microchip clinics, a pet food pantry, and more. Hey, if you have a pit bull, chihuahua, or even a free roaming cat in our service area, the spay neuter is free. And if you're experiencing a pet behavior problem, check out our free behavior helpline. Register for one of our behavior classes or come to one of our monthly education programs. We even offer programs for kids and volunteering. So if you need some support with your pet, let us help you. For more information or to get involved, visit PasadenaHumane.org. Right, Frankie?
Well, I mean, she is such a beautiful horse. I mean, honestly, for what she's been through, I don't really see any specific vibes, but what would you specifically like to know more about Casey Robin?
I'd like to know if she has any pain or discomfort in her body, if she understands that she was rescued and that I'm going to take care of her.
Okay. That's the one thing, I mean, honestly, and this is, I tell people this, I'm fortunate because I have a mentor. I don't know if you know Joy. She's my communicator, my mentor is. I don't care if it's good news, bad news, or otherwise, I never, ever lie to a person about their animal. That is, to me, is like the cruelest thing you could ever say. She knows without a doubt that she is saved now. When I start feeling the emotions and I feel like I want to cry is when we're going back to that issue. And that's why is, like, for example, okay, we're here now, this is what I'm seeing with her. Some animals want to dwell, mom's kind of dwelling a little bit, but with her, she's like, okay, you know what? That's done. And I think it's because she's a little bit younger. She absolutely knows she can trust you, and you know that. Because regardless of how she was and her quirks, and she has some, which we're going to get into, you expect her no matter what. You're not going to discipline her for what you perceive or what a human might perceive as misbehavior. I hate that. So the weaning issue, again, you know, she's not really happy about that. She's got the toys. What about training? I mean, so what do you do? I mean, is there?
Well,
Is there training?
right now it's all about ground manners.
Ground manner? What does that mean?
That means she has to respect our space.
Okay.
It's making her safe to handle.
Okay.
If it's not cute now, if it's not going to be cute at 1,000 pounds, you don't want her doing it now.
And this is one thing as we interject and hold your places. This is what people don't realize. It's just like with a puppy or a kitten, a horse, like, you know, the mouthing and all that. You think it's real cute and you let them do that. But like I had a cat, for example, that wasn't weaned and he sucked my ear. It was really cute when he was a kitten, but having a 17-pound cat suck on your ear is like sandpaper. So we do have to start drawing their boundaries. But what I see in her, when you mention the word training, she's like, I'm still a baby. I don't want to be doing training things. And there are certain commands where I see her, I don't know if it's that she doesn't fully comprehend or she's pretending she doesn't know the command. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, yeah.
Like, let's say, for example, you say, okay, Misty, back up. She's like, huh? What does that mean? I think she kind of plays a little innocent.
She does.
Okay.
She totally does. She's very smart, but she's an alpha female, and she's stubborn, and she wants to do things when she's darn good and ready.
But this is the thing, it's kind of a twofold situation with an animal. Is on the one hand, you have
No.
a confident animal is going to overcome their, you know, past more quickly, but then, especially now, she's still a baby, is that also causes them to be that kid that no matter what you say, they're going to say, what? I don't know what you're talking about. But, which I normally don't talk this much during the session, but I'm explaining to Robin is, inherently she knows what you're doing. But see, look, we're talking about it now. She doesn't like it. It's okay, honey. But you just close your ears for a second. Is I'm trying to explain to her. We need little orifice to earmuffs. I'm trying to explain to her is that this is all for, like you said, her betterment down the line
And our safety.
and the safety. Because you're right. This is a big animal, and they can do a lot of damage very quickly. But I think, oh, you're such a love. I think that you need to do it in shorter bursts. Like, for example, her attention span might go, because I have a very short one myself, so I can relate to that. Don't look at a 15-minute session.
Mm-hmm.
You might have to do 4 or 5 minutes. And when you see, just like with any other animal, if you see you're starting to resist that specific command, back off. Because then you're respecting the animal's boundary, and a time limit. So then you can do, let her chew her tie or whatever. She's counting for us. We have a timer over there. She's helping the timer count. Okay. Yes. We have a few more minutes left, darling. Okay, so besides the training, what else? Because you're saying, the training, she's resistant, and that is her personality. She's a little bit confident, AKA.
Well, I'd like her to understand, if possible, that being separated from mom is a good thing for both of them.
Okay. Yeah.
And
I mean-
especially good for mom.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, she does understand that, but because she's still a baby, and also because she can see the mom.
Yeah.
She can see her mom. So that's where it's like, well, I can see her, and I used to do these things with her, and now we're changing the storyline. And this is why I'm talking about the remedies.
Yeah.
I think after we start the remedies, we'll kind of lay out a game plan, because whenever I work with a client, I don't just talk and leave. We have to have notes, we have to have follow-up, okay? Because we want the training to go as smoothly and as comfortably as possible, because you never, ever use the B word, B-A-D.
Yeah.
You never, ever reprimand an animal, shame them, nothing. They do not learn that way. And so that's what I'm saying is when she's getting, like, if you're, let's say for example, you're teaching her, okay, back up, and she doesn't want to go, she's holding her ground, you say, okay, we respect that. I'll give you a 2-minute timeout. Give her a carrot, whatever she wants to have, and then go back, because by respecting the animal's boundaries, that they've had enough at that moment in time, they're going to be more receptive. As far as physical issues, no, the only thing I did feel before was that I did kind of feel a little bit of energy here, because I can feel energy is hot, cool, whatever.
Hi, I'm Julie and this is Frank. We're from the Pasadena Humane Society and SPCA. You might know us for our pet adoptions, but did you know that we also offer many services to help pet owners in need? Programs such as low-cost spay-neuter, vaccination and microchip clinics, a pet food pantry, and more. Hey, if you have a pit bull, chihuahua, or even a free-roaming cat in our service area, the spay-neuter is free. And if you're experiencing a pet behavior problem, check out our free behavior helpline. Register for one of our behavior classes or come to one of our monthly education programs. We even offer programs for kids and volunteering. So if you need some support with your pet, let us help you. For more information or to get involved, visit pasadenahumane.org. Right, Frankie?
Okay, and you mentioned behavioral issues. So when I do a scan of energy, when I scan energy on an animal, I can feel temperature, I can feel texture. It's kind of hard to explain, but I see the back end, and what I see in my head is her being, this is before Robin got her. I see her being, forced, like, get into your cage or go here and go there. So I feel like that's not a physical thing. I think that's a totally different thing. And one of the things I am good at is knowing if there is physical pain and if the animal's in danger. This is more, it's like we were talking about on the ride over here, the cellular, muscles have cellular memory, okay? It's this of being pushed and forced. And so that's where I think that maybe when, and that's why I'm avoiding that, because it's, I don't know if it is reactive, is just right in front of it. Then you start working back. And you always explain to her, you know what? I tell people this all the time. Even though you don't communicate like me, animals intuitively, by your tone of voice and your touch, they understand you. So you can start just here. Let's say you are needed to teach her a back up or go somewhere command, and it reminds her of that. You can start here and go, come on, honey, and lead her this way. But physically, I don't see any issues. I don't feel any, I don't see anything wrong with the legs. What's this on her face? Is that from her rubbing on is she a fence rubber?
I'm not sure how she's getting those little
She's a fence rubber.
It could be that she's playing with Penny next door.
Yeah.
And maybe cutting herself on the top of this fence over here.
Yeah. But no, it's
Fortunately, they're superficial.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so besides that, what else do you want to know? Say she's great, she's confident.
She's sweet.
She's really
She's
sweet.
not got a mean bone in her body.
Do you plan on riding, or is she gonna be ridden by people?
She will. I would love her to understand that the things we're asking her to do and learn are for her safety.
Okay.
Also,
Yeah.
like when we need her to get in the trailer, if there's a fire, we need her to get in the trailer fast.
Okay, let me tell her that just for a second, okay? So you hear what Mama says? Yeah, so sometimes, and this is when I talk to an animal, I say, this is not a drill. Like, so when you're training, you can we'll train her with that. This is not a drill, Casey. You have to come with me. You need to be safe. Don't say your life is in,
Yeah.
come on, you need to come with me, you're safe.
Okay.
And I do literally use that phrase, this is not a drill, we gotta move. So it's just like with dogs and cats, it's a certain tone of voice and a symbol, and she will learn. So that's kind of things like say afterwards, yes, the timer's doing a good job, but thank you for reminding him to keep an eye on us. That's the kind of thing I'll lay on my email to you, because everything you do at this point, especially from an animal that comes from a possibly bad situation, it has to be on their terms. She's still a baby. But ultimately, I think, oh, look at her, she's so beautiful. You are so beautiful. This animal, Casey intuitively knows she is safe with Robin and anyone who Robin brings around her. She knows that you will not allow anybody to come into her space that you don't feel is safe. So that's where you have to benefit. It's like when the crew came in. She's nuzzling and kissing. So okay, here's the analogy. If a child looks at, like if a parent looks frightened and the child looks at the mother, it looks scared and frightened. So we come in, my crew's relaxed, I'm relaxed, you're relaxed. She's like, hey dude, I wanna go meet you. So this is gonna make the process easier, but I think it is because of their situation, and I think it's because she can see her mom over there, but unfortunately, because of the weaning process, that's the way it has to be. But overall, she does. I mean, she's very confident. Yes. Okay. Now, so why are you asking her not to do that? Can you explain to our audience, please?
Well, there's a number of reasons. No, we're trying to teach her patience. We're trying to keep the dust down. We're trying to avoid having her dig holes on the property.
So is that her like a dog trying to dig?
It's impatience.
It's impatience.
Yes.
Well, you can tell she's getting. We're almost done, honey.
She's like, can we do something
Yes.
else now?
Is my close-up over, Mr. DeMille? No, because honestly, and because I do have to sometimes separate myself, but I'm like that. We're like, seriously, if someone's trying to tell me a story and it takes more than a minute, I call it going into Karen land. My mind is, oh, look at that shiny butterfly, look at that bird. That's how her attention span is right now.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying, is it's
True.
we have to take things in short bursts.
She's being so good right now.
She's being so patient because, see, this is, darling, you're going to be a movie star. I think she will because, see, I think she has, she has two different kinds of neediness. I mean, one is the neediness, I think she always wants to be around the crowd, but I think there's also a need to please with you. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I think so.
Because it's sort of like when the kid brings the ashtray home or whatever they make from school, and you go, you make a big deal. Oh, that's lovely. So see, that's how she is. It's like when she shows you something, when you're training her and you do it right. Because what I see in my mind's eye is when you correct a behavior, and it might not show on camera, but like when you're here with her, I feel like when you show her a correction of behavior, she's like, are you proud of me, Mom?
I do
you know?
praise her every
Okay,
time.
because I kind of see that, did I do a good job, Mom? That's the vibe I see from her.
Okay.
Hi there, I'm Amaris, and I would like to tell you about Remainders Creative Reuse. We're a nonprofit centered around creating art with recycled and upcycled materials. We have classes for everything from sewing to sculpture, painting to printmaking. Remainders is for everyone, from toddlers to grandmothers. My mom, Robin, is the founder, and we work together with many generous volunteers to provide a space of creativity, sustainability, and togetherness here in Pasadena. We invite you to join us and get creative.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I definitely see that, you know, she really does. I mean, she looks to you for approvals, like when you're doing a particular behavior modification. She wants to know that I'm doing a good job, Mom. And we have sunglasses on, but I think when she looks in your eyes, she understands that she's doing a really good job. Does that make
Right.
sense to you?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So this is the thing, I mean, I really do, I appreciate, you know, Robin allowing me to do this. I mean, I love horses. I used to ride horses myself. You know, one of the things with my show is not only do I want to help the person and my client, but I also want to educate people and teach them about rescue animals are not damaged. They are underloved or under-socialized. So whether it's a dog, a cat, in this case a horse, and Robin's got 2 of them, don't consider them damaged goods. Once they get love, they can start changing really quickly. And so, I mean, again, I just want to, you know, share with my audience that because Robin's, you know, rescued many more animals. I do really appreciate what you're doing for these 2 animals that otherwise would never would have had a chance. They never would have had a chance.
Thank you, and I'd like to say that people who have seen them from when they first came to now,
Yeah,
they say it's like night and day.
yeah.
They're different horses. And Misty, her trust level has grown by leaps and bounds, just with love and good food. So
So this is what I'm saying, people. It's just like human beings is, I mean, a little love goes a long way, and that's really true. So Casey,
got an itch.
That's okay. She has an itch. I really, that's one of the, every time I work with an animal, I always want to thank them and say that I appreciate you trusting me, and I'm going to see you again soon. I'm pretty sure. So everyone, thank Robin. Thanks, Casey.
And I want to thank everyone who cares about animals.
Adopt, don't shop.
Yep.
And never gonna
Spay and
know.
neuter.
Yeah. And then we just look at each other and pet.